We met YouTube fans Ken, Miriam, and Barb in the hiker resupply area at Muir Trail Ranch on day 21 of our 35-day adventure. Here is a portion of our conversation with them. Okay, so in order, you guys have to introduce yourself for my 2018 movie, which is going to be tentatively titled Wild, Magnificent.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
You are?
So I'm Barb Zotzma, and I'm from Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Very good. And you, sir?
Ken Zotzma and my wife Miriam.
Miriam, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
From
you.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids. So
Yeah.
the cat tell you she went to the University of Michigan, was
All right.
graduated with a
Right.
doctorate up there. Yeah,
That's-
music education.
That's what the Michigan stickers are all about.
Yeah, now you know.
Okay. All
And the
right.
double T's are mine. Those are my resupplies. I got all those double T for us Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now, in order again, I want you to tell me what the seed was, because this is going to be part of the movie. The theme of the movie is the people that we meet, for doing the JMT. Where did that idea get planted? And how long have you been dreaming about it? And now you're finally doing it.
The JMT. I have, to be honest with you, I haven't been dreaming about it very long. My brother Ken mentioned it to me last year that he was going, and I said, wow, that sounds like a great trip, but he was going to go last year.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't able to pull it together and get myself in shape for it last year. And then it fell through for him last year, and he decided to go this year, and I made such a big deal about it last year. I felt like I couldn't say, oh, sorry, I can't make it.
No,
I can't make it this year. So here I am.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's
awesome.
it's a great trip.
All right.
All right, so I've hiked in Yosemite, maybe 10 years ago. Saw the JMT, didn't really know what it was. And then one night we were looking around on some videos to watch. We saw one on the JMT, and so I watched it. And I'm like, wow, we hiked part of that trail in Yosemite, but I didn't know it went all the way where it did. So that was maybe 6 years ago, and just kind of kept it back in mind. Finally made some plans, and here we are.
And here you are.
Here we are.
And I'm assuming that you're along just because he's along?
I'm along because he's along.
That's for sure.
All right, now the
But
second.
it's been gorgeous.
Has it been? That's the second question is, are you enjoying it?
Yes, there's, countless hard parts, but you can't beat the scenery. You can't.
There's absolutely nothing like being here in person, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the videos, you can watch all the video and look at all the pictures you want. It's not the same.
Exactly.
It's not the
You can't
same.
hear the rivers.
No.
You can't hear the birds.
Yeah, I know. Can't smell the air.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah,
All right.
Yesterday we had an easy hike coming through Evolution Valley.
Is that where you were? Yeah, Evolution. That's where we spent the night before last.
Oh, yeah.
Was in
Yeah,
Evolution
yeah.
Campground.
Yeah, that whole string through there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. There's some parts of this trail. You know, after we leave here tomorrow, for Kath and I, it's going to be the great unknown, because we got as far as Marie Lake last year. If you watch the video from last year,
Oh,
and
that's
that's the last day was when we went over Bear Ridge, and that's where she got hurt. And so we had to go off at Lake Edison down there.
Okay, so you made from here, you went over Sheldon Pass?
Yeah, over Selden.
Selden.
Yeah. And camped at Marie Lake. And I tell you what, I don't know which, are you going southbound or northbound?
No,
You going northbound? Okay. If you can spend the night up there, you ought to spend the night at Marie Lake, even if you have to spend an extra day, because it is absolutely gorgeous up there. I mean, it's something to see. It really is. It's like, we've already been by Helen Lake, right? It's similar to Helen, but a little bit less exposed up there. I mean, there's some places where you can camp along the lake, and you're not just, you and the lake and then big old mountains all over the place.
Our son was with us on the trail, and he just left the day ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
And he was up at Helen Lake waiting for us to catch up to him. And were you there with him back then? And it snowed and sleeted when they were up there.
Well, we got, I was going to say, well, that was us. 3 days ago, we camped at Helen, and we had the sleet and the rain up there. And then the following day, for what's been the last 3 days, basically before we got in here yesterday, it was the afternoon rain showers. In fact, at Evolution, we got the sleet, we got the rain, and then about 11 o'clock at night, the wind was howling. I mean, it was blowing like 30 plus.
How'd your tent do?
Well, I had to get out and reinforce it because we did the big rock, little rock,
Yeah.
you know, because there's no way to get a stake in the ground up there in some of these spots. And I was out there literally in the howling wind. Kath was holding down the edge of the tent fly to keep the tent from blowing away, and I was out there piling rocks on the other rocks that I had already piled on there until we could get it strong enough to stand up to the wind. So it was an adventure. That's what we call an adventure. When you come out here, it's an adventure.
It is an adventure.
Yeah, we missed that.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah. So, and it looks like the pattern now is gone because we came up, we came up 4 days early this year and went up to Cottonwood Lakes because we started at Horseshoe Meadow.
That's what we did too.
Yeah.
Just don't forget that.
Yeah. So we went up to the lakes and spent 2 or 3 days just wandering around up there. Went up to the top of New Army Pass and back down just to kind of get acclimated to the altitude. And it rained every single afternoon we were up there. And fortunately, we had already done our hiking for the day. Yeah. So we went up and we'd come down and it'd rain. And then we'd go out and do another little day hike and come back to Long Lake and it would rain in the afternoon. So.
Well, you can put it in your video that you're our heroes.
Oh, okay. We're always glad to hear that. We've got to do a couple of people already. In fact, when we started the hike, there was a lady that I had been corresponding via the YouTube comments page. And unfortunately for her, she bit off more than she could chew. That first day, you go from Cottonwood over the pass to Chicken Spring Lake.
Yeah.
And she couldn't make it. She got about a mile below Cottonwood Pass, and somebody had to carry her pack up to the top for her. We'd already gone on ahead because she said she was going to be slow. And then we got worried about her because she didn't show up, and it's like we're there like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 5 miles or something. 2 o'clock goes by, 3 o'clock goes by, 4 o'clock goes by, and now we're getting worried about her. So we started asking hikers as they're coming through down there. I went down to the trail to see if I could find out any information on her, and then they started telling me, yeah, we saw her down there and this guy had to haul her pack up. And eventually about 5:30, she finally showed up there just below, where the trail, you have to go off trail there a little bit up to where the campsite is there at Chicken Spring. So I had to haul her pack up to Chicken Spring for her, and then we kind of had a little heart-to-heart with her.
Was it altitude or?
I think it was mostly the altitude, because she had been doing some low altitude stuff, and she'd been doing okay with it. And so she made the good decision eventually to just decide to go back down and not get out here, because you already know how difficult this is. I mean, you got to be in fairly decent physical shape and not have any altitude issues, because you can still be in good shape, but if you have altitude issues, I mean, you're hurting.
Hard to train for that.
Yeah.
We actually started with 4 other family members, so there were a total of 7 of us, and 3 other family members and our son. But they left after a week. They got off at Pierce faster.
Right.
It was really a blessing that none of us got sick.
Y'all need to look in there.
Yeah.
Except I had it one day. But
Yeah. Well, you can, you get those minor symptoms and it's fine. If you get a little headache, or you have a little loss of appetite, or you're a little sleepless, or your nasal passages get blocked up, that's one thing. But when you start getting too dizzy to stand up, and you literally can't breathe, then you need to start going down to get out of it. And you don't know until you actually get up there how your body is going to respond to that.
Right.
So
how can you train for that?
you can't. Well, the only thing you can do is what Kath and I did this year, which was we're within 10 hours of Albuquerque, and I've got family there. So we drive out to Albuquerque, put a pack on our back, and we go up, we climb up the Sandia Crest, which is 10,000.
Oh, Sandia Crest. What are those mountains around Albuquerque?
The Sandias.
All the Sandias there. Okay,
Pretty much.
that's
the
Manzanos. Yeah, Manzanos are a little south of there, but basically right there it's the Sandias.
My dad was in Albuquerque for the last 26 years of his life.
Oh,
so
really?
we were always out there visiting and
Oh,
did the,
awesome.
to the Sandia Crest,
Pinot Trail?
no, the car ride.
Oh yeah, the tram.
The tram,
Yes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
he got us all over the Southwest for a
Yeah.
lot of years. Albuquerque's fabulous.
It is. But in
So
fact,
where actually are you? If you say you're 10 miles from Albuquerque?
no, 10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we live in Dallas, Texas,
In
in that
Dallas,
area.
okay.
So it takes us 10 hours to drive there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Looks like you guys-
when we went up there this year, though, we went up the mountain the first day. We didn't take a full pack because we figured we were going to do 2 days worth of it. So we just each took a day pack. And I thought I had enough water. And I got up there to where we ate lunch. We did the Pinot Trail, which is 8 miles from the base down there, about 6,500 all the way up to 10,000. Got up there and had lunch about, I don't know, maybe 1 in the afternoon. We started at around 8. We got up there about 1 for lunch. And then we still had,
You did 4,500? Wow, that's a lot.
so we had another 1,000-foot elevation to go after lunch. And as soon as I sat down, my legs started to cramp up on me.
really?
And I immediately knew, uh-oh, you have not been taking enough fluids, because I hadn't done this stuff in a year. So I immediately started drinking everything I had, and fortunately between Kath and I, she had a little extra water, I was able to get to the top. But I could have very well been a casualty if I had not had the fluids with me. You really have to be aware and stay hydrated when you're out here. So.
And the electrolytes was one thing.
Electrolytes is big.
Yeah.
It is.
Big,
It was
big,
for you
big.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you feel completely different when you
Just run
get.
out of gas.
You do. You just feel like you can't take another step.
And it's like, what's going on?
So, you guys did Whitney?
We did.
All right, let me get your first impressions of Whitney now.
It's majestic.
It is.
I mean, it was incredible. And all of us made it up. And I had been kind of sick the day before, but all of
High altitude is
Yeah.
behind you now. You got a couple of more 11,000-foot passes to go
Hiking out of
through.
here.
But, yeah, out of here tomorrow for us is the big day, because it's the most elevation gain we'll do in a single day. And the bad thing about it is, have you spent the night here yet?
No.
Oh, tonight is
we
your.
literally got here an hour ago.
Okay, so you're staying in one of the cabins, right?
No, we're probably not going to stay too
Oh.
We don't know. We've heard.
Okay.
We've
Anyway,
heard mixed reviews.
Yeah.
You know. And
Well-
so then everybody was saying how hiker-friendly VVR
yeah,
was.
hiker friendly. Go to VVR
Yeah.
and do the 0 there. Or
That's
spend
what
some
we were
time
thinking.
there.
Yeah.
That would be better. Yeah, we
Are
might.
you going there too?
No, but
No.
we might connect.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
somewhere down the road
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You know how life is. It's just
Yeah.
like this. You just get a total surprise out of the blue. These people start showing up. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. We were camped out at Guitar Lake now,
Oh, really?
and we're coming back down from that hike.
Uh-huh.
And there's a group camped out there, and I go right by this guy. He's in his tent. He's doing something, and he doesn't say boo to me, because the star of all of my YouTube movies is the lovely Kathleen.
Well, she's a lot better looking.
She
Oh,
is.
yeah, that's right.
I go right by it, and he looks up and he says, "I know you." He's pointing right at Kath. "I've watched your videos on YouTube 300 times to get ready for this."
And we lost them.
Yeah, we did. We were tag teaming them for a couple of days. Yeah,
That's fun.
it was a lot of fun. Oh, there's our Jay over here begging. He's a beautiful thing.
Chasing that moth?
Yeah.
There was a huge, was that a hawk that we saw while we were in the spring?
Oh yeah, yeah. We went up there. They have hot springs here. You've heard of, I'm sure. If you're a guest here, you get to go up there, and after being on the trail for 3 weeks, you get the
We heard about another hot springs that's like
Yes,
further up
Blaney.
into the side.
Blaney,
Yes.
yeah, Blaney
You
Springs.
got to hike up out of here.
Yeah, well, you go up to the trail where you came down, where all the switchbacks
there's a
were, and there's a
sign
sign
there.
that
That's how you get-
points you up. You
And
go down there.
It's kind of that way. isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's out-
And it's out in the
that way.
meadow, and people say it's some of them are very clear and some of them are muddy.
Mud,
But
yeah,
they're,
muddy.
You know, it's a great feeling
It is
to be
the
able to get
soak.
into that wind.
All right, we need to take some pictures. I know you guys probably have a schedule. Let's get some pictures.